Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Conscious intent, I am. Conscious intent, I am. Conscious intent, I am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Conscious aware, I am. Conscious aware, I am. Conscious aware, I am. Thank you. And thank you is the strongest thing you can feel because it connects you with the great maker and all our relations. And that's what this life is about, being connected. Not thinking that the world is always about you. I want to kill myself. Life sucks. Well, my life, there is always conflict and pain and things of that nature in my life. Right? Just for the nature of being the griot, shaman that I am, I have to deal with things like that all the time. I mean, even out in the woods, when was nobody around me for a year, I had to deal with the conflict of the squirrels and the raccoons and the feral cats, which feral people's cats, uh, and then there's the next size up and the next size all the way up to we have panthers, and there's a panther that um, checks in with me every now and then. And I could be upset and scared and might try to kill him and put out poison. No, I am thankful that everyone's there because we've gotten to the point where everything kind of works. And now that all the Floridians and Californians and all of those folks are coming in, I could be, oh, what's wrong? I can't. Oh, this is terrible. They're invading. No, what's going to happen is something, you know, like the house down the road from me that was empty forever. Somebody bought it and they're from Florida and they're total flatlanders and beach people and have no idea what the mountains are and crash and smash but um, with me not being upset with them, um, I have learned a great deal, right? And that is the beauty of life. We can learn, and that's what it's about. So here we are. We've been the air 2 minutes and 48 seconds, and a few of you are here. Somebody's give me a thumbs up. That's always nice. How about anyone want to put something in my PayPal because I could really use it. My car needs to be fixed, and it's going to be a lot of money that I don't have. So go to PayPal when they say who you want to put it into. That's the dude awake 42 at Gmail. I'm sure it's just the dude awake 42 at Gmail. Could be the dude awake 42 at Gmail, but you check it out. And you can email me. Try doing that at either one, right? So, what else? So anyone got something to say? Everything seems to be working. I have a pretty good Wi-Fi signal. I'm connected to the internet. Now there's two of you. So the two of you, what do you think about being thankful? What do you think about what's bothering you? And do you see that pain and suffering as a whip of torture, or do you see it as a lesson that you can learn from? What do you think? I know my whole life, I've been around now 71 years, give or take. And I've died a number of times, 6 times, and I've gone to the other side, and I've been a EMT for 3 years in a place where there was, every week we responded at least 3 times to a catastrophic car crash where someone was either dead or really messed up, and it was a ticking of the clock of us getting them out of there, right? And so and the other thing we did, so we were out, was in Ithaca, New York, and we were in this little town called Varna, and across the street was the volunteer fire department, but they went out the other way. I just saw the back. So I would see cars show up and people get out and go in through the back door. and or walk to the front, and it was always a pretty girl. And so one day I had nothing to do, so I kind of walked around the fence, walked across the street, walked over to um, the front of the building, and boom, it's a volunteer fire department. Hey, girls, what's going on? And it was all women, pretty much. And they said, "Oh, we're fire," and the captain was a woman, and the second in charge was a woman, and and they had about 28 women from about 19 until about Cap. She was 35. So that was it. I think there was two other older women, but they weren't, you know, even 40 yet. So it was quite an interesting sisterhood. There was an old guy and three teenage guys, in their 19s, and they were, seniors in high school, and they were, if you were a volunteer fireman, New York State would give you money to go to college. So I don't know if any of these states do it anymore. I know Tennessee used to do it and don't do it anymore. But that was a good thing. And so we had a very interesting thing. So anyway, I live right across the street. And so they were very interested in me joining so I could drive the response truck, the big rig, right? And so I went to school to do that. And I also went to school. It was not just to learn how to do that, but how to drive a ambulance and how to be a first responder, EMT, right? And so I took that. And then I was finishing that class up, and the guy said, "Listen, we can give you $300 right now if you can take these other two EMT courses so you can be top notch." I think they called it meaning I could work in a operating room, meaning I could do tracheotomies and other things, put lines in, do other stuff, right? So I had nothing to do. So I said, "Sure, $300, great." And I get a certificate. I go, "Oh, yeah, great." I'm sure, I called up the captain. I said, "So you want me?" "Oh, yes, do that. So the first few months I drove the truck, but I was working at Cornell, and I was also working at an electrical company. And so I wasn't always just sitting across the street, right? And so another person, another old guy who was basically sitting across the street, not doing. He went and took that drive, and he was a motorhead, so he kept that truck and the ambulance in shape. So we basically responded at least 3 times, if not more, to this over near right, within our district, within 5 miles, there was Interstate 91, where another interstate kind of crossed it. And instead of a clover leaf, they just made an X across to each other. And large tractor trailers would be flying down 91 and roll, some guy in a little car. "Oh my God, you got to get up here." And we'd cut across 3 lanes, and a big truck would run them over. And at least 3 times, do they fix that? No. So the 3 years I was there, we responded at least 3 times to a catastrophe. And the other thing we responded to, just down the road, where the old guy who was taking care of the pump truck, our big fire truck, he lived in a trailer, a mobile home. And it was a mobile home park that was a old folks home, basically. It was old folks home on the cheap. And they kind of took care of you and kind of made sure you had some food and but not really. They were living in frigging mobile homes. Anyway, so at least twice a month, and maybe not, but at least twice a month, someone would eat their gun or take pills. And to show how bad this, old folks home that people lived in trailer parks was, usually they didn't find the body until somebody smelled the smell, right? And then they would call us to, because we were the only, there was no, medical examiner for our little neck of the woods. So we were the closest thing there was. And my little certificate actually, but you don't have to be a doctor to be a medical examiner. So anyway, we would do the post, and we would go there, take some pictures, and when anyone died, but if, it was car crash, the stadies would show up. They had all their people, and they would investigate it seriously. But for the old guys dying in the trailers, no, we were the closest thing to an ME. So at least twice, if not less, we would show up at the old folks' mobile home spot, and we would and find the and a third of the people would eat a gun, the rest would be in a bathtub slitting their wrists or and it's kind of sad to see these people in a bathtub because they're mobile, the bathtubs aren't that big. So and every time we'd see these people commit suicide, they were always in the worst. It was like some monkey came and turned up the place upside down to make it look really bad for them. I mean, I don't know how many times we would find people and their pants would be on the ground. And, they'd either blow up their head or cut their wrist. And they really thought that was the last thing they wanted to do is take their pants off, expose themselves. Anyway, so it was pretty. And my cap, she was total Irish. She was a total, crone, queen, you name it. She was it. And she was great. And she was very psychic. And so was I. But I had this more bardish sensibility. So I understand the energies. I can feel the energies. I can try to interact with the energies in a conscious, conscious, aware I am kind of way. And we would. And sometimes we go in there and the spirits would, the body was still there. That soul and that from that body that committed suicide, they were still there, and other spirits would be there, either taking them away or helping them to pass over, and and people would go in, and I can't go in there. They couldn't see what was going on, but the cap eye and this one policeman who was, he was a statey, for our little corner of the county. This was his name. He was a sergeant. So whenever someone committed suicide, or if there was a car crash and other people didn't show up, he'd be there. He was the authority, and he was a great guy, and it's really good to be the friends with the police. Whenever I go someplace, I try to be friends with the police, get to know them, have them know me, know where I live, have them, like when I was in Virginia, the first time I lived in Virginia, near Lynchburg, the police chief wanted everybody to live in that town. And so there was no rental places really. So there was this one crappy rental place, and everybody in it was either, police or first responders or people who answered the phone or worked at the police department. So I got to know everybody in the police department. And once they realized I could read palms and cards and tell them stuff, I was the most, popular guy in town from those guys because they always had issues about themselves and relationships and whatever. So it's always good to be their friend, and I try to do that. And when I lived in New York and all the things I did, whatever town I was in, other countries, wherever I was, I would always be friends with the cops because it was much better. So anyway, all of that experience has taught me one thing: be thankful for what you got right here, right now, in the moment. The only moment we have is the moment we got right now. So nobody's seeming to say anything. There's 14 minutes now. So at 15 minutes, 15 seconds, I'm going to say au revoir because I still got more stuff to do. And the clouds are coming in. I don't want to drive in the rain. So, okay. I love you guys. You stay well. Right? Anyone got anything to say? We still have, almost a minute, 14 minutes and 23 seconds. Another 40 seconds and I'll be gone. So I hope you like this. Make some comments. I know a lot of you guys watch this, not live, but later. That's fine. Make some comments, put it up there in the thing and put it over there. Ooh, thunder, I got to get going. Okay, so I will see you guys later. Let's see, where's the little button? There it is. I love you guys. Remember, conscious awareness. I am conscious awareness. I am conscious awareness. I am Om. And Thank you, Lord, for every day and every way that I take your piece of the earth and make it stronger. I hope. Okay. There we go. We're getting there. 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go.